Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shaver Ranch Plus Wolves. Upon my grandfather's request, I'll do a little bit more detailed job in showing all this, but we have got a lot of tools to do. I just bought all the handles I needed, and I got it all set up here, ready to go. Everything's all laid out. I got all these handles. I gotta strip all this varnish off, make these smooth. If you could probably even hear it. It's just rough on the hands. Make this smooth. Put some linseed oil on there. We gotta knock all the rust off of these and polish them up. I've got an angle die grinder and sandpaper to do so. Not in that order. So we got a whole set of ball peen hammers. It's really nice. We've got all these. We've got a local store here in North Idaho that has the old-fashioned kind of octagon handles. I've mentioned that in the past. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera,
I think so.
But the way that you hold with your hand makes an octagon. So
Put it
back
in your hand.
Yep. So as you can tell, it fits very nicely. I don't know why they stopped doing it, to be honest. Maybe cost savings.
Maybe.
Whatever the case, we got it all here. I don't know very much about Plum as a name brand, but that is what a lot of these things are. You could probably not pick it up. When I shine these up, you might be able to see, but all these, this is a Boy Scout of America little hatchet. It also says Plum on there. I'll have to do a little research, or if someone knows, they can comment and educate all of us on that. Now, we've got a really big surprise, something really awesome. In the Shaver Ranch, we like to do a little of a lot, we'll say. And we'd like to get into blacksmithing. So, we found this excellent blower. Forge blower at an antique store. Yep. You could tell it's old because of the square bolts. And in fact, we talked to an educated old man there that knew all about these and kind of collects them. He's kind of like a hoarder that way. But he said that we got it for an excellent price and that these were made in the 1920s.
Ah.
And it's rusty, rustic, doesn't look all that pretty maybe, but this thing blows really hard and gives you exactly what you need. Everything is working just fantastic.
So what it's for is to heat the coals for your forge,
Oh,
so
yes.
you can make things out of metal.
So we're gonna have our forge, and we'll probably have it laid up. You can even see the leg is tilted so that you can stand here. We stand in here, the hose will come out and go into the forge. We'll have our forge here, and you can just sit here and feed it, and go. And it'll be all right here. And then we'll have our quencher over here, and probably our anvil behind us over here. And in that last video we did, well, we have those big stumps. I might go ahead and get me one of those stumps that's the right height. We'll have to make sure that it's big enough to maybe trim some off if we need to. And have a big stump. Wrangler Star just did a whole series about setting up a big stump, big heavy base for an anvil.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to stick to that because it worked really well for him and it'll probably work really well for us.
So we'd like to do things like getting leaf spring out of a car, which is very good metal,
yes.
then heating it in the forge, pounding it into the shape of a knife or tools or anything that we need.
It'll be really good.
It's called self-sufficiency. And
So?
that is the main thing that you need, except, I mean, you can make a forge out of so many different things, but
Oh, yeah.
you have to have the air blowing into it.
Yep. And you have to have control with your air too. You can't just have a constant flow. And having electric motors and things is also not so self-sufficient. You have to rely on electricity, and that comes from an outside source. The whole goal of the Shaver Ranch is to become as self-reliant as possible, and that comes with time and money,
So,
obviously.
If you have to go back to the 1800s, you can.
Yep, exactly.
I've been working so hard that my hands are
You're
jiggling.
sore. You're jiggling?
No, they're jiggling.
Oh,
They're
no.
shaking.
No, of course, that doesn't mean that we can't, for the time being. He said to get a consistent and constant flow so you're not constantly cranking on this thing slowly. You can get a Y attachment and hook up an electric motor.
Gentle.
We had just worked, and I have it up in the attic, or an old dryer motor with a blower attached to it, and it works fantastically. I got it all wired up. Yeah, there's a switch on it and everything, so I can hook up the switch and have it on a Y separator here, and just open it open a valve just enough to let a little trickle of air go through.
Yep.
Just enough to keep those coals hot.
Then when you need more, you crank
this,
your...
and you crank it a little bit, and that's all you need, and it goes. And
Awesome.
yeah, we'll bring you along for when we continue and get all this. We'll show you that. So I think that'll do for now.
Sounds good. Bye for now.